Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Siri Børsum, and I'm so delighted to be invited here today to talk to you about something that is very close to my heart and that I think is very exciting to talk about, actually. I I wish, obviously, I was there with you rather than being here in Oslo in my office, but that's how the world has become. Hopefully, we can start to travel soon. So, um, let me start by giving you an introduction of myself. This is actually me and a picture of me and my dad. I want to tell you a personal story. When I was a young girl, I actually found it really hard to read and write in school. And my parents were told pretty early that don't have very high expectations to Siri and her schoolwork. And I remember from that day on, my dad he took me home and he said to me, Siri, don't listen to them, because you can do whatever you want to do. But I I cannot promise you that it will be easy. So, and that sort of really stuck with me with throughout these years with everything that I do. And you might be wondering, why am I telling you this story? And that's because I think that right now we are in a similar situation. We as an industry have a challenge that we need to face. I believe that we need to provide consumers globally with financial health, and we need to do it together. So I want to start by talking to you about Huawei's vision within the finance vertical, and that is the idea of bringing every single person, every home, business, or organization, and bring access to the financial services that they need. And we want to do this by giving consumers a choice so that they can choose what works best for them. And there are two things that I want to talk about particular today. The first is competition, and the second is mobile technology. So competition. So more competition brings more and better choices to consumers, which in turn means that the financial service providers need to offer better services and products to their consumers. And then there's the mobile technology. We all know that we live in a mobile first world, and we have our mobile phone sort of glued to the hand, and we keep on sort of looking at it all the time. And you can see that wherever you go. So for most people, this is beneficial because the mobile technology enables financial services to reach their customers when their customers need it, wherever they are, at whatever time they want it. But I am not only talking about the mobile phone. I'm also talking about all the other devices that are connected, whether it be your watch, your tablet, your any kind of form of wearables, your laptop, or even your car. And having access to banking services across all these devices sort of brings it all together to make your financial life as seamless and easy as possible. And this seamless connectivity across these devices is at the heart of our strategy, which we call One, with the mobile phone in the center, Eight, all the other devices, and then N, which is all these sort of limited apps and services that you can connect to. And you need to see how these tools are already sort of being used in other markets to really understand the potential of the competition and the mobile technology. In Europe, there's been a huge investment and growth in this space of the last 10 years, and it is growing, and we all know that. and because consumers are turning more and more familiar with the variety of financial services that are available through technology. And as a result, we're seeing a lot of these investments going into online and mobile banking. And I don't see this slowing down anytime soon. And I think 2021 is likely to be another record year for fintech, absolutely. But for the finance service industry, this is great news, right? Because if you think about it, this gives the industry an opportunity to step up their game. And as I said in the beginning, our job is so far from done. We need to provide people with easy to use tools for a better financial life. That is the only sustainable way forward. And some markets are more developed than others. Europe's progress in the finance service space is, I would say, behind and is slower than compared to the Chinese market, which is way ahead of many. And if we look to China to see what's going on there, I believe that they are the rock star of the fintech world. And if you live in China, chances are that you have a remarkably different way of managing your money than your average global consumer. And I would say by that it's an easier way because it looks so much easier. So did you know that China stands for over half of the digital global transactions? So we're talking about 2,500 billion US dollars. You can ask what happened. Well, I think firstly, there's this continuous rise of smartphones and e-commerce that has driven this huge disruption in the field of digital payments. Secondly, I think there's the consumer-centric environment that the tech companies in China tend to be quicker at picking up on unmet customer needs. And following on that, you have the consumers that are a lot more open and a lot more adaptable to these new services that make their lives easier or even better. And then they've had until now the advantage of a lot simpler regulatory facilitation and as we talked about, easier access to capital. And that takes us to why competition is so important. It's that fueling of capital that has brought so many players into this space. And as a result, we see a lot of improved user experiences. Those user experiences are brought to us through this new technology that is available. And they've just utilized the technology that they have rather than looking at it and thinking, should it just be used to what we're looking at and how it's being used today? Let me give you just two examples, the QR code and the Frog Pro payment system. And so by now, I think most of us is familiar with the QR codes. In Europe, it's unfortunately, but it seemed like it's the pandemic that has actually sort of forced us to use the QR codes. And many of us for the first time, because we didn't see how easy it was before. And I remember the first time I saw a QR code, that was back in 2007, and it was in New York. And I had absolutely no idea, first of all, what it was, how I should sort of interact with it. And I definitely didn't understand that there will be a connection between that QR code and payments in the future. So while it's now sort of really become easy to scan a QR code when you visit a restaurant or use the local gym, in China, they've been using QR codes for over 10 years. And it has become one of the most common payment methods. And that's not even just sort of in shops or hairdresser, retailers, restaurants. It's even among the street musicians. So when you think about it, QR codes have been great for everyone involved. And fintech providers can use this technology with their products. Retailers can offer a more seamless payment experience, and consumers, they don't have to carry around their wallets or their bank cards. And then there's the Frog Pro payment system, which takes the concept of seamless digital transactions even further. So this is where consumers are required to do absolutely nothing other than to look at the mobile device in order to pay. So think about it. You just walk into your local corner shop and not even having to reach into your pocket or your purse to get up your wallet or even your mobile phone. You just literally look, smile, and you have paid. And that is just shopping made easy and so much more comfortable. And similarly, there's been the news from Amazon about making payments with your own palm. So you just put your palm on the desk, and after that you have paid. That I haven't tried that myself, but I'm really excited about the development in that space as well. But I think the point is here in Europe, where I sit, that these concepts for some still feel very futuristic. And these are only two examples, but the recurring theme here is that mobile technology is at the heart of delivering a faster, more convenient, and a more secure way of paying. So this leads to one question: how can the rest follow up on offering, and especially in Europe, offering better and easier solutions that their consumers really deserve? Well, I think that good news and there's change in the air, definitely. Consumers' expectations are growing. We want more because we know what we can get. So 10 years ago, we'd been happy to walk into any branch to manage our own money. Today, we expect to buy a new couch within seconds or transfer money overseas on the spot. And the good thing is that this has inspired the retail banks to see the need for deeper relationships with their customers. And everyone that works in this space wants to provide their customers with better choice, better solutions right now. So it's just figuring out how. Open banking is a great opportunity to actually move forward on the customer loyalty issue. So ultimately, open banking is about bridging gaps in the new technology to find new and better ways to meet customer expectations. And I believe it has such a great and huge potential. From helping banks learn more about their customer patterns of behavior to financial health, to investment plans, and to goals. And these are all in the same of sort of creating better and more secure banking services. You can trace the discovery of open banking because it's pronounced among startups which are sort of very agile and adaptable to the new ways of working. And this is starting to lead to new products and solutions for especially European users. And hopefully, this is only just the very start of an open banking future leading to better global financial health. Because I'm not saying that the US and other parts of the world don't need to look into this as well. Definitely they do. And definitely they have a long way to go. So how does Huawei bring more choice to consumers? There's a simple answer to that question on the screen. We champion competition, as I've said, and we also champion partnerships. We're partnering with fintech providers to make sure that we're bringing more choice to more consumers. Then they can pick up and they can choose the service that they need. I think that is important because consumers need to have the possibility of choice. It is their choice and their decision. So these partners that we are working on and that we also want to continue to work with are so crucial to us in what we do. They drive competition and they also allow smaller fintechs to bring those financial solutions to every person and home and organization. And that is important. We want to provide it for everyone, not just the big major players that everyone knows, but also the smaller ones, because their solutions might be the best for some other people. They just don't know about it yet. So supporting these smaller organizations and fintechs give them the chance to bring cutting edge innovation to the table, providing consumers with, as I said, multiple services. And this is all part of our underlying goal: drive better global financial health. So to support our partners, we have developed App Gallery. That is our official app marketplace. App Gallery is where we bring those choices to our users and where they can find the services that work best for them. And we're not just talking about managing money on your smartphones anymore. We are talking about bringing all of these different systems together so that they have this immediate access to your finances from across all your devices. We're talking about sort of imagining using your watch to pay back your friend for the round that you just bought. Or even asking your car for your bank account balance. Or not even having to pay when you enter the gas station. It's already been taken care of the moment you drove into the space. So that's what the Huawei strategy is all about. And in order to make this happen, we obviously need to partner with developers. We're giving developers and our partners access into the sort of increasingly competitive app market in return. We are building an ecosystem from scratch, which is something that takes time. And I think App Gallery right now is only 3 years old. But look at what we've done. And we're extremely proud of the progress that's happened so far. We've already the third largest app market in the world. We have 2.3 million developers on board, and we have 500 million monthly active users, 93 million of them in Europe alone. And what we've been doing these last few years is that the reason why we've been able to do and everything that we've been able to do in these 3 years is what we saw that our competition did in 10. So that is why we champion partnerships. We have been providing our developers with tools so that they can create the service that they think that their customer needs. We have given them access to support incredible technology like like artificial intelligence or even machine learning. They get everything that they need to make sure that they're ahead of the game in offering their consumers the best financial services. And we've been doing this for just 3 years, and we're catching up. We're not quite there yet. Obviously, this takes time, and we can see some of the fintech leaders that we've partnered with on this slide. But let's take a look at one of them more in detail. So we're already working with countless different fintechs in Europe to expand sort of their regional app offering and app gallery. And I want to show you this one example from the German and Austrian markets. The company name is Blue Code, is a cashless payment system making waves here in Europe because it's offering a very quick and easy payment experience. And it already uses an existing banking infrastructure to do so. So if you have already sort of a favorite small retailer, an independent clothes shop or a boutique, perhaps, then they would be able to use something like Blue Code because it gives the easy access into the world of mobile payments. From the retailer's perspective, when you're buying items from their shop, they simply type in the amount to be paid, and then you scan the QR code to pay, and that's it. No one gets left behind with this type of technology, and I think that is the whole point. So my 3 takeaways from today, and that I hope that you will remember, is first, the global fintech industry is booming. In China, there are more than everywhere else in Europe, but I believe that Europe is on a good road catching up. Secondly, the more competition we have and the better partnerships, the more we drive consumer choice to provide better financial health. And then finally, it all comes down to offering the best service to the consumer to drive financial health by bringing the choice of digital financial services to every home, to every business, and to every organization. Thank you so much for listening.